Yes, them have the heart of a pagan. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous trod in the countenance of the Almighty One. Them have the heart of demons. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Good people see hostility rising daily.
Declare ye in Egypt. You hear what the Lord said? Declare this in Egypt, man. America is Egypt. Hold it now. How many of y'all know that in the Bible America is Egypt? Did you know that? Oh no, you didn't know that? How could you not know that? Didn't Egypt have slaves for 400 years? Didn't Egypt have slaves for 400 years? Egypt didn't have slaves for 400 years? Well, what does the word Egypt mean? Which means what? Thank you. Why did the Greeks name an African country bondage? Why did they do that? Why did the Greek Empire name an African country the land of bondage?
They took it over.
No, you're a liar. They took over many empires. Why they ain't named them empires bondage? You just trying to get out the truth. See, you ain't ready to face the truth. They called it the land of bondage because they had the children of Israel in bondage, and you know they did. You understand? And wait a minute, are you saying that that didn't happen in history?
There's no proof for that.
There's no proof of that? Now let me ask you a question. Where is there proof that it did not exist? In what records? It's not where?
The Egyptians recorded their whole history. They didn't say nothing about it.
Yeah, and let me ask you a question about their history. Are their history written in books today?
Yes.
Who is the main scholar that produced the Egyptian history for us today? What's his name?
There's a lot of people.
What's the main one that started with Alexander and Ptolemy that brought the records out and brought them before the Greek world? Who was it? No, it wasn't. It was Manetho, and you know it. And Manetho brought those records out, and guess what? Josephus proved that Manetho and Herodotus was a bunch of damn liars. They were liars of history, man. And furthermore, let me tell you something. This is a personal testimony. I've been to Egypt several times, and guess what? I've seen the records. So then let me ask you this then. If it was no captivity in Egypt, then answer this question. What is the significance of a broken cartouche or a cartouche that's chipped around the outside edge? What is the significance of it?
Well, I don't know that.
You don't know that? You went to Egypt? Did you study the records?
You know the language?
Did you study the records?
I'm not fluent in their language.
But did you study their records? See, well, let me help you out. You don't know enough. You don't know enough, but you're going to learn something today. Anytime, give me a book on Egypt. Anytime you open archaeological records on Egypt, and if you open those records and you see you know what a cartouche is, right? Everybody that don't know, a cartouche is an identity medal. It's those circle medals that you see with writing from top to bottom. That's called a cartouche. In Egypt, cartouches were like street signs, or were like what you would call a badge with your name on it, or like a dog tag. That's what they use cartouches for. Now, what is the significance of a broken cartouche? Open it up for me. A broken cartouche, or a cartouche with a jagged edge on the outside, represents a slave or a captive in Egyptian history. Okay? Yes, they did. Let me ask you a question. What are black people in America called today? What are they called? They call African American. How many countries are in Africa? Now, which country do these people come from and identify from? Different tribes. Why is it that they are not being called by the tribes that they originate from?
Tell me why. Because they don't know.
Why they don't know?
They didn't do their lineage straight.
Why wasn't it just passed down?
Because of slavery.
Because of slavery. Then let me ask you an intelligent question. If the Egyptians had slaves, and if those slaves were Hebrews. Would they be called Hebrews in Egypt? Seeing that these slaves are not called who they originally are, why would the slaves in Egypt be called Hebrew Israelites if they were in slavery? Wouldn't they be called something else that the slave master decided? Well, guess what? Now I'm going to wake you up. You want to find Hebrew Israelites in Egypt, all you got to do is look for the Hyksos. Do you know what the word Hyksos means? No, they're not white people. Show me the proof that the Hyksos are white people. Show it to me. There's no such thing as white Asiatics. No, there isn't. You bring the proof, because guess what I got? Guess what I got? I got proof that the Asiatics were black. And not only that, guess what was the name? Guess what was the name of the Hyksos? What was the name of the Hyksos? What did it mean? Do you know what it meant? See, you ain't studied enough. Let me show you what it means. Hyksos means shepherd kings. The reason they were called shepherd kings was because the Hebrew Israelites were farmers, and the Egyptians abhorred farmers. The same way they call black people niggers in America is the same way they call Hebrew Israelites Hyksos in Egypt, meaning they shepherd kings or ghetto kings is what they called them. And you don't know that because none of your scholars that try to brainwash you into believing that Egypt was a righteous empire, that it was an evil empire, is what it was. So wait a minute, you telling me it's righteous to worship a baboon? Yes, they did worship a baboon. Yes, they did pray to a jackal. Yes, they did pray to a hippopotamus. You gonna tell me the Egyptians did not pray to a scarab? You're a liar. You know, the only one that came up with one God in Egypt was all right there. So don't lie. Don't lie. You know, before Akhenaten, they worshiped many gods. Yes, they did. You're a damn liar. When Akhenaten came along, that's when they came up with the one God. And furthermore, here's what's so evil about Akhenaten. Akhenaten wasn't worshiping the Most High. Akhenaten was worshiping the damn sun. That's what he was worshiping. Him and that old big-headed Nefertiti. They were worshiping the sun. That's why Nefertiti had all her hair shaved off her, because she was in there doing electronic experiments with batteries trying to become a damn god, where she was nothing more than a disgusting witch. And Akhenaten wasn't nothing more than a diseased transvestite, man. You understand? And they had nothing to do with the Lord. And it is why God destroyed Egypt to the ground. You've been trying to deny. What you got for me, Maya? Hold it now. Hold it now. Now you say Asiatics are white people. Turn around, hold it together. Hold it together. Oh, get that page for me. Get that page for me. The people that were enslaved in Egypt were all black. Wasn't no white people in Egypt until Ptolemy came along. When Ptolemy came along and took over Luxor Temple, that's when white people came into Egypt. Before Ptolemy's time, it wasn't no white people in Egypt, man. Okay then. So the Hyksos were 1,000 years before Ptolemy. They were 1,000. That's another lie. Where's the archaeology proof that they raided? First of all, I'll give you one further. If the Hyksos raided Egypt, where's the history of the Hyksos Empire before they raided Egypt? Where did they get the might and the power? They say they came from the Middle East, right? But where's the proof that they had an empire in the Middle East? There is no proof.
Where's the proof?
The what?
Nonsense.
The Moors were in Africa. The Moors were in Africa. That's a lie. The Moors were in Africa. The Hyksos never had an empire. You know why? You know why? Because they came down with Joseph in them. You know why Ptolemy got rid of that record? Because Ptolemy did not want the history of the Hebrew Israelites to come out. That's why he hired Manetho, a criminal, and Herodotus, a phony scholar, to sit down and write the records. Listen, Manetho himself said that he wrote the records off of his memory. That was the first century. How the hell did he have a memory of 1,500 years in the first century? And furthermore, open any Egyptian book and look in the back in the glossary. I guarantee you they will give Manetho credit for the archaeological finds. Why? Because he's the father of Egyptian scholarship. Both him and that low-life Herodotus, and both of them were lying. Get it for me in the pot. We got a Josephus out here? If y'all got a Josephus, get me the wars of APR. I'll give you some history out here. This is my favorite subject. Don't get me started. It's my favorite subject. You so-called Negroes been trying to worship Egypt just like you did back in the ancient time. And let me tell you how dumb and stupid you black people are. You black and Hispanics are so damn dumb and stupid. You go find the most glorious African empire, and all of a sudden you make yourself a descendant of that empire. You're a junkie for whoever's in power. Whether it be the white man, the African, just because Egypt had pyramids, that means you had to be there? All black people are not the same, dum-dum. There's black people in Alaska. They ain't related to the Africans. There's black people down in South America. There's black people down in Australia. They not related to the same people. When the Lord came about and set this earth up, he separated these nations. You want to come together in a one world order of mess. Now, back to what I said. You said the Hyksos were white people. Why do I have paintings from your Egyptian temples that say the Hyksos were black? How do you know that they was white?
How do you know?
Because I studied it, that's how.
Yeah.
Who said it?
Old Kemit dynasty.
The Old Kemit dynasty. Who translated the Old Kemit dynasty?
Greeks.
No, the Greeks didn't do it. They hired somebody to do it. The Greeks could not speak it. That's why they hired somebody. Yes, and you know who their name was? Manetho and Herodotus. That's who translated it for. You understand? And that's why the story got twisted. And one more testimony of my own. I've been to Egypt, like I said. I saw the cartouches. They got the cartouches of the 12 tribes in Egypt. They named Joseph in Egypt. They name him in their records. But you know what they don't name? They don't name the Hebrew Israelites by name. The only place you can get that record at is on the Rosetta Stone. And you know why? You know why? Because your Egyptian scholars are liars. That's why. You believe in a lie of a wicked empire that God destroyed. And he got rid of that empire. Why? Because it was another empire like America that believes only in enslaving people. And you ain't never going to resurrect that Kemit garbage. You're not even there. And you gonna try to resurrect some old African country. Why you think God got, you go to Egypt right now, Chinese tourists is pissing on Kefren's coffin right now. Chinese people is up in there pissing in the pyramids right now. And you know why? And you know why? Because God destroyed that filthy, stinking rat hole. Give me some more archaeology. Give me some more on this empire of Egypt.
Yes, them have the heart of a pagan. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous trod in the countenance of the Almighty One. Them have the heart of demons. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Poor people see hostility rising daily. Ignorant multiply brutality. I see that they run gone left mommy. Fi struggle the hard road with 5 beginning. Our I see baby having baby. Nothing that happen no do.